Hello lovely, thank you so much for joining me today. If you haven't met me before, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Laura. I'm 40 years old and makeup is my absolute burning passion. I love it so much and I love nothing more than sitting in front of my camera and talking to you lovely people about makeup and the industry and beauty and everything that goes along with it. In today's video, I had planned to do a completely different video, but I'm currently in Wales on a holiday at my caravan, and I've spent the day, because it's been glorious sunshine, sunbathing on the decking, reading, and I had the inspiration to do the kind of makeup look that I would do if I was abroad and I was getting ready for the evening to go out for dinner or drinks. You know, you've been by the pool all day, you're perhaps a little bit too much sun, you go back to your room, you have a nap, you have a shower, and you get ready to go out in the evening. I always think makeup on holiday is the best makeup that you ever do. It always looks the best, it feels the best, and I just kind of wanted to replicate that feeling and look with you today. Now, I'm absolutely not going anywhere to a bar or for dinner or anything like that. I am just going to be having a cup of tea and watching TV, but I did fancy that sort of vibe for this look. So obviously this is the look that I've come out with, using all affordable makeup, lots of Revolution, as you will probably expect, or had a almost very disastrous blush moment, but I did manage to save it. And yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. Okay folks, so the look that I have in mind today, that I have been thinking about all day doing, is totally inspired by my current mood, like a late summer holiday vacation makeup look. So nice and bronzed, glowy skin, a really warm sort of like smoky sultry eye, and like a nude glossy lip. That's just the kind of idea that I had in mind for today. I had planned on filming something completely different, but that's what I want to film. So the base is going to be kept pretty light. Like for instance, when I'm on holiday and I've been in the sun all day, I don't want to slap on a thick full coverage matte foundation, so I'm going to use something quite light and glowy. I am going to prime. Obviously I've already done my eyebrows, and that is the Revolution Pro Glow Skin Perfector CC Enhancer in the shade Gold. And I'm also going to do my usual combo of the Line Fix Under Eye Primer and the Under Eye Brightener. So I'm going to start with the let's start with the Gold Primer. Okay, so I'm starting with the primer, the Gold Primer, and this is just a really lovely, light, radiant, very radiant primer. Okay, so that's the primer, and you can see just how glowy that is, but that's the kind of vibe I'm going for. And then I'm going to pop a little bit of my Line Fix Under Eye Primer on. Okay, and now I'm just going to conceal under my eyebrows slightly using the, what shall I use? I'll use the Lacura, this is the Brightening Concealer. And I'm also going to put on my under eye colour corrector. So I'm going to put my carve out under my eyebrows and just around them, ready to blend in with foundation. Put my colour corrector on and conceal under my eyes, and then we'll come back to do foundation. Okay, so that is my brows sorted and my under eye colour corrector done. I decided to leave concealer until after I've done my foundation because I want it to look really bright under my eyes. I feel completely out of practice and discombobulated today, and I don't know why. I think it's because I haven't filmed in this space for quite a while, so do bear with me if I'm a little bit all over the place. For foundation today, I know this is discontinued, but you still can get it in a lot of places. This is the NYX Born to Glow foundation, and I've got mine in the shade Light Porcelain, and I am determined to finish this foundation because it's one of my absolute favourites. And I'm going to mix it with a couple of drops of the Revolution bronzing drops just to give me that little bit of a bronze glow. And I'm just mixing them together on the back of my hand. And I'm going to blend my foundation with a brush. And I definitely am not going out to a nice bar for some summer cocktails or to dinner or anything like that. But I did do the sunbathing and cooled down with my window open and had a little nap after my sunbathing session. So I got some of the inspiration. I'm just going over now with a damp sponge. Okay, so that is my foundation, and now I'm going to do my bronzer actually before I do my concealer. And for my bronzer today, I'm going to be using the Primark My Perfect Colour Moisturising Foundation and Contour Stick in the shade Chai. And this product is incredibly pigmented, so I am going to be very bronzed, which is what I wanted. Okay, and I'm looking a little bit crazy, so I'm now going to go in with my concealer and conceal under my eyes and just clean up. Okay, so that's my bronzer and concealer all done. And now for my blush today, I want something really glowy. So I'm going to be using a mix of two. I'm going to be using the collection. This is the Filter Finish Liquid Blush Light Wand in the shade Sweet Nothings. This is the one that's got less colour to it and more like shine. So I'm going to be using that one, and then I'm also going to be using the Icon Blush Trio from Makeup Revolution, and I'm going to be using my Cherry Truth. So I'm going to be using the cream from this and a little bit of this collection one. And that is such a pretty blush. I was a little bit scared of it, but it blends out so easily. And now for the Sweet Nothings. There we go, that is my skin done. I'm now going to spritz my skin with some setting spray, and I'm going to be using the Revolution Fix and Glow setting spray. This is in I think it's Pink Glow. Yeah, I'm sure it's Pink Glow. They used to do a bronzy one, but this is like the original one. Okay, and to set my face, I'm going to be using an old classic. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. And then I'm also going to use, in certain areas, the e.l.f. Camo CC Powder Foundation. And I'm going to use that to sort of, where I want a little bit more coverage, sort of reverse contour under my cheeks, sort of down the centre of my face, that sort of thing. Okay, before I go in with the powder foundation, I'm just going to bronze using the Makeup Academy bronzed matte bronzing powder in the shade Solar 100. This is a lovely warm rich tone bronzer, which is going to be perfect for the vibe that I'm going for. Okay, perfect. And then to just add that bit of like clean up with the powder foundation, I'm going to be using a velour puff. And this powder is a little bit too light for me, which is why I'm going to be using it for like clean up and things like that. Okay, and I'm just going to let that sit for now. And I'm going to use my setting spray once I've dusted this away. Okay, so that is my base done for now. I'm just going to prime my eyes using the XX Revolution. This is the translucent eye base. And I'm just going to put a tiny bit of this on. You don't need a lot of this product. Okay, and for my eyeshadow today, I'm going to finally get round to using the Revolution Icon palette. This is the True Icon. I've had these since last year and I haven't used them yet. And I noticed the other night on the Revolution site that they'd released 3 more, which I was really hoping for them to release these particular palettes that they've released. 2 out of the 3, I just kept thinking, oh, I wish they'd do a palette like this, or I wish I'd do a palette like that. And then lo and behold, I was late night scrolling and they were on the website. So I picked up those 3. I'm going to be doing a dedicated video to those palettes, but I thought I haven't even tried the formula of the ones I've got already. So we're going to use this one today, and this is exactly the kind of look that I'm going for. Like warm, rich, very summer, end of summer, late summer, going into autumn vibes, which I think this colour story screams. And I'm going to use the creams. I'm going to use this lightest cream here, first of all, just to lay down a little bit of a base across my eye. And for that, I'm going to use, I don't know why it took me so long to decide on a brush, but I'm going to use this Primark brush and go into that lighter of the 2 creams. And I know that these creams are very pigmented and very emollient, so I'm only using a small amount. Yeah, look, immediate opaque coverage. So I'm actually going to just take that amount across both of my lids. And just blend it up into the crease just to add a bit of a base. Very light. Now I've blended it, so I'm going to just add a tiny bit more. And for a cream eyeshadow that is very emollient, that blends so easily and so well. There we go. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do with the cream for now. Now I'm going to go straight into this third matte shade here. and I'm going to blend that through my crease using a nice big fluffy brush. This is just a brush from Primark, and these are very, very pigmented eyeshadows. Yeah, how nice is that? That is a stunning eyeshadow. I've heard so many good things about these palettes that I had absolutely no doubt that they'd be, you know, great quality. I mean, I like Revolution's eyeshadow formula anyway, and I'd heard that these were even better than normal. Um, so, which is why I bought the new ones without even having tried these ones, because I just knew that they would be a great formula, and I love the colour stories anyway. Okay, now I'm going to deepen up the crease a little bit with this jumping one to this other way, jumping one to the one next to it, so that's the next darkest shade. I think I might have picked up the wrong one to do my crease. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going in with this one with a smaller brush. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I'm completely all over the place. And I'm going to be using this eyeshadow brush. It's like a fluffy, but like flat brush. Can't even speak properly. That's so pigmented, and like it's pigmented and opaque as well, so it's like retains its coverage when you place it once you start blending it. So what I'm doing is just adding most of that shade along my lash line, and then I'm going to go and like feather it out up into the crease, but mostly focusing on the out corner. And then I'm going to switch to my original dead fluffy brush and just blend all together. And I am sort of taking it out quite far, winging it out. Really stunning eyeshadow formula. I really like these. It's a good job really, considering I have 7 of these palettes now. I think I was probably the first person to buy the 3 new ones. I was scrolling through and it was like, I think it was around midnight, and I'd gone on to the new in page and they weren't there, scrolled away, looked at something else, come back and they were there, and I bought them instantly. And I'd hoped that I could be organised enough to get a video up of them like the next day as soon as I got them. But my parcel got delayed, and then I got caught up with coming away and getting ready and stuff and stressed, and it's no point me trying to be the first to get reviews up and stuff, because it just doesn't happen. So you know, I hope you'll still be interested in seeing them, even though they're a little bit in the makeup world old now. Okay, and then I'm going to take this second shade and just run that under my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm going to take that first shadow that I used, this one here, and I'm just going to go back and add some more of that warmth. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this lightest shade and just sort of go around the edge of everything. This is definitely like a transition shade for me, not a brow bone, but it will just help to blend everything. Okay, so I'm happy with the mattes. Now I'm going to go in with a shimmer, and I want to use this gorgeous copper one here, and I'm literally just going to go in with my finger, and I'm going to put that all over my lid. Wow, that is pretty, and they are incredibly soft. Definitely a different formula to what's in the Forever Flawless eyeshadow palettes. Much more impactful. Oh, that's stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. And then on a little brush, I'm going to take this second shade in, this like pinky shade, and I'm just going to put that in my sort of inner corner and over onto my lid. Now these are like a very creamy formula. They're not really picking up very well on my, but although it is actually transferring. Crikey, that is a gorgeous shimmer. I mean, it'd be way more impactful with a finger, but I can't really get in to my inner corner with my finger. Look at that, that's just added a lot more dimension. That's this a shimmer formula. It's like reminds me of like indie eyeshadows where it's thicker, almost creamy. It's like flaking a little bit. Oh, I can't believe how pretty these eyeshadows are. This may just be my favourite Makeup Revolution eyeshadow formula, and I love the Forever Flawless palettes, but these are something a little bit special. Okay, and now to finish off my eyes, I want to do something really like smudgy and sultry. So I am going to go in with a black eyeliner, and I'm also going to go in with a burgundy eyeliner. So I'm going to use the Revolution Streamline eyeliner in the black shade along my upper lash line, and I'm going to sort of smudge it out. And then in my waterline, I'm going to use the Revolution Pro Visionary gel eyeliner in the shade Burgundy in my waterline. And I'm also going to do some mascara. I bought my Maybelline Firework with me, but instead of that, I'm actually going to use the 5D Whip Lift in the waterproof, because if I was actually on holiday abroad in a hot sunny location, I would be using a waterproof mascara. The 5D Whip Lift was my favourite Revolution mascara until they brought out the wrap lash, and I've got two here that I haven't opened. I've got the original and the waterproof. So Gonna go off camera and do these, and then I'll come back to finish my face and do my lips. Okay, so I did go in with a little more shimmer, the coppery shimmer, and just added it sort of up. So I wanted that sort of like messy, like lived in kind of eye look. So for blush, I am a little bit scared of this, but I am going to go in with the powder version of the cream blush that I used. And to help it blend a little better, I'm going to use my powder brush. Yeah, that's a lot. One dip, one dip. I also did it on the back of my hand. God. Okay, that was almost a complete disaster. It still looks way brighter on camera than it does in real life. In real life, it's still blush heavy, but it's not as blush heavy as it looks on the camera, which is really strange. But this, yeah, I knew going in that this was not made for my skin tone. This is for a much deeper, richer complexion, but I really did want to try it. So the cream I can definitely make work. It blends so easily that even that, you know, it's really dark, it works fine. But the powder, I will think twice about using that one again. I will use it. I'm not the type of person to buy a makeup product and then never use it, but I will go in a lot more cautiously, and I think with a like a flimsier brush. But I did sort of like manage to save it by tapping over with my sponge that I used to tap over my foundation. But yeah, that was almost unsavable. And I don't think that's ever happened to me where I've not been able to save a makeup look. Now, for a highlighter, I'm not going to be using this one. I'm going to be using a shimmery bronzer, because when I'm abroad, that's the one thing that I love doing the most. I love a shimmery bronzer. So I'm going to be using the Rachel Leary X Revolution. This is the golden hour, and it's a highlighter, or for my complexion, a shimmery bronzer, which is what she intended it as. I don't think this is available anymore. In fact, I know it's not available. I found mine on Superdrug, and I'm not sure if it's still available on there. But yeah, I'm going to use that with the same bronzer brush. It still smells lovely as well. Okay, and for lips, I want to do a nice, warm, shimmery, glossy nude. I'm not a gloss person usually. I prefer a glossy lipstick, or a balm stick. But I think this look does call for a proper lip gloss. So I'm going to go in first of all with the Makeup Academy Intense Colour Lip Liner in the shade Mystic. This is sort of like a soft red nude. and these are so creamy and pigmented. Okay, then I'm going to go in with the Primark lipstick. This is the Luster lipstick in the shade Uptown Girl. And I'll just swatch the lipstick for you so you can see it without the lip liner. It's just a lovely warm nude. And these are a stunning formula. They're so cheap, but they're a really gorgeous lipstick formula. And then I don't think this is available like this. They have sort of redone the lip glosses from Makeup Revolution, the Pout Bombs and the Shimmer Bombs. They've repackaged them, reformulated them, and they've changed the colours. But this is the shade Glimmer. So I do apologise, I'm not sure if this one is available still. And there we go, that is my look complete. So, okay, and that is my bronzy, glowy, late summer holiday makeup look. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm so sorry if I was a bit all over the place. I feel like I forgot how to do makeup, how to film, how to talk to the camera, everything. I felt really awkward, so I'm really sorry about that. But yeah, this is the look. And thank you so much for watching, lovely, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.